Head opening statement.
Yeah, what an awesome day, man. Great juice and energy by our guys. Flying around, beautiful weather. Thank the good Lord for that. And got a really good opponent this week, man. Again, they're 4-1. They've done a phenomenal job. Got a lot of respect for Coach Vincent. And a lot of their guys on their staff I've known for a long time. Coach Kenyan and others. And they've done a great job playing really good complementary football. They've played really good defense with timely turnovers and takeaways. They've not turned it over a lot on offense. They've been really sound in the kicking game, and they've been able to win some really good games, particularly this past week, beating a James Madison team, who's had some really good seasons through the past few years. So big challenge for us. We're excited for it. We like how our team's working. We like the positives that are showing. And we think we're going to play some really good football, from here on out. So with that, I'll open it up.
Can you kind of speak on ULM's defense? That seems to be the key to it all for them.
It really is, and it's kind of the sum of the parts, really. Like there's not like one standout, but they play really hard at the D line. They play hard at linebacker. They play hard at safety. They get up in your face at corner and make their plays, and they just play good defense, and then when you make a mistake, they'll get a takeaway, and it's usually a big one, like James Madison last week had the ball in the red zone, and Monroe had just muffed a punt, and they forced a turnover and run it all the way back for a touchdown to change that score. So they've gotten some timely turnovers in games that have really been big. The UAB game they did, and they've got their mojo going. They're playing well.
Is it a defensive front that plays a lot of games, a lot of movement, slants, things of that nature?
They do, and they mix their fronts up. You'll see mostly 4 down, but you'll see some 3 down. Glenn, for you, going back to the CUSA days when Bill Clark was at UAB and built all those programs, their D coordinator was there, and of course Coach Vincent was there. So you're looking at a Bill Clark family tree defense, and of course I got a great respect for Bill. He and I go way back, and so it's good. But they mix their fronts up. They'll chop the front up when they need to, and they'll play some 3 down when they need to too.
Is that what you could kind of point to of their kind of immediate turnarounds, knowing that they were a part of a big turnaround at UAB with a program that had struggled for a long time?
I think so. I think anytime, and I think, they were not a bad football team last year either. So now they brought in a bunch of new players, but they had some guys there that could play. Because if you'll remember last year, I think, they got beat maybe on like a 60-yard field goal by App State, maybe, or something. Like they were in a bunch of games last year, and they were close. And then Coach Vincent's come in and brought a bunch of life and energy, and brought a few, some new players, and they've had a great start to the season.
How do you get these receivers on your team more involved in the offense? I don't think Dennis, Ty, or Larry even have a touchdown this season. So how do you get them?
Yeah, we're just not playing good on offense altogether, Demo, but we're fixing to. You know what I mean? We've just got to play better as a total group, and that's going to happen.
Yeah. Any thoughts on getting Kenyan Drake some more touches? It seems like he's been ultra productive when he has touches.
Well, we'd like to get everybody more touches. We snapped it 40 times. You know what I mean? So we've had one game where we had 40 snaps, one game where we had 31 snaps. We only played a half. So, it's like a half a football. So we played 5 games. We really only played 4 games almost from our snap count perspective. Now, why is that? We got to get more third downs. And then we got to get off the field more on defense on 3rd down. And so we've got a really low snap count number, for a 5-game football team. And when your snap count's low, then your touches are lower. But we've got to execute better in totality, and we're fixing to. We've got to make more off-schedule plays. When you look all over college football, all the way to, the Ravens-Bengals, that game was won on off-schedule plays, with both of those quarterbacks. So, we've got to make more off-schedule plays at quarterback. That's football now. We haven't made a whole lot of those. I know our quarterbacks are going to be healthy this week, and so we're expecting to make more of those, which can inject life into you too when things aren't just perfect. Because football's not played in a vacuum, and we've had to play it in a vacuum here for the last 2 weeks because of our limited mobility at quarterback.
But to Glenn's, I guess, to follow up his question, I mean, is it a surprise for, maybe not a surprise, but Kenyan is averaging a big play a game right now, it seems.
Well, not a surprise to me. Y'all know all through the offseason, I think the kid is going to be an unbelievable football player. I think he's got a chance to be special. And Drake too. But if you go back and watch the last several games, Drake and him, they very, very, very rarely get tackled by the first guy. You know, they make at least one guy miss, sometimes two guys miss. They're probably playing as well as anybody on our football team, both of them.
Last week, you guys made some great corrections defensively.
Yeah.
Kind of talk about taking that into this week.
Yeah, we feel like that's who we are. We've got to carry that over. We can't lose that. We still think we can improve a little bit with our eye discipline at safety. We're playing a team that really wants to establish the run again, much like Louisiana did. And, you know, so we think there's some carryover. And, you know, we should have Jay Jones back, should have Dylan Lawrence back, which will help. And but I like the way we're progressing. I like the growth we made. Like I said in my interview yesterday, you know, we've got to get to third and longer more. You know, we were perfect in that situation, but really bad in third and 4 or less. To do that, we got to get more knockback tackles on first down. So we've got to find a way to do that without losing our identity of getting the ball carried down, not giving up big plays, and you know, red zone defense. We said at the beginning of the year that's where we're going to live and die, is in the red zone on our defensive football team, and it was good to see us play better red zone defense this past week.
Anything else?
Appreciate it,
I
Coach.
appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.